yeah, it's right on. I'm very confident in the tracking ability of the scope. Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I'm checking out the Zerotech Thrive HD 2.5 to 15 by 50 rifle scope. Now guys, before we jump into the review, let's give you a little bit of background about this. I was originally asked if I would review one of these last year from the importer here in Australia. So, you know, I said, look, I want to know a few things about it first of all, because, you know, the amount of people that had messaged me asking me to review this new Australian-made scope called Zerotech. Straight away I was a bit hesitant, because I thought, well, hang on, as far as I'm aware, there's no manufacturing of rifle scopes here in Australia. So, you know, I basically wanted to know where it was from. I was told China, Philippines, a few different things there, but I just wanted to confirm that. And then you know, I didn't hear back from the importer at all, nothing. And then their general manager contacted me, you know, like 6 odd months later, apologising, saying, look, you know, it's bad form on our part, we should have got back to you, especially when I was asking the questions about where it was made and so forth, and then offered for me to review one of these. And as I said in a post that I did on Facebook, I'm more than happy to review, you know, any scope that's made in China or the Philippines. However, personally, I don't like optics made in China or the Philippines, and I would never put one on my own rifle that I was keeping or using permanently. I just wouldn't do it. However, in saying that, guys, I am not going to let that get in the way of a review of any Chinese or Filipino made scope that I review. Okay, I just don't. I review the product exactly how it performs. I mean, look at previous Chinese and Filipino made scopes that I've reviewed, like, you know, Burris, Bushnell. Yeah, I've said, yeah, look, nice and clear, it works 100%. So I'm not going to just say, oh, you know, it's rubbish, it failed or anything like that, unless of course it does, okay? I don't care where it's made. So, you know, this is the thing, guys, a lot of people out there, you know, they'll get sent a scope from a manufacturer, and pretty much that will guarantee that manufacturer a good review of it, which I don't work that way. You know, I'm not sponsored by companies, you guys know that, you know, so this review will be brutally honest about this scope, because the amount of people asking me about it has been unreal, and obviously for good reason, because a lot of people think that it's made here in Australia. So let's just clarify that now. Zerotech scopes are not made here in Australia, they are made in China. So first of all, let's show you what it comes with. We've got these alloy flip-up covers on the rear and the front there. That's standard. I've got a 50mm or 3-inch sunshade here. We've got a range chart. So this is the actual reticle on this particular model that I've got, called the PHR2. Okay, so it tells you what distances the reticle there is in MOA, and you can also write in there, you know, when you go and put it on your rifle, side in at whatever it is, say 100 yards, you know, and then, you know, 1.1 MOA, you can write down the distance of your impact there, 2.5 MOA, 5 MOA, etc., right down to 25 MOA. So that's pretty good. Also got a cleaning cloth or lens cloth, and we've got the Zerotech manual. And it also comes with this locking ring tool. Okay, so when you pick the scope up, it does feel quality. It's quite heavy, so, you know, it's not like you're picking up some really lightweight, cheap optic. So it's got a really nice matte black finish to it. The weight of it is 740 grams or 1.6 pounds. So, you know, for me, guys, this isn't an optic that I'd be putting on a lightweight hunting rifle. It's more, for me, I'd be putting it on a, you know, a varmint type setup. Now the length is about 37 centimeters or 14.5 inches. We've got a 30mm tube here, so there's 70 MOA of windage and elevation, which, you know, is fairly generous. That should get you out to some decent distances. The clicks here are quarter MOA clicks, okay, so there is a very positive click, you know, with each adjustment. Now the one thing that I have noticed, guys, and this is across the board with a lot of scopes, there's a slight bit of movement, okay, before you do the clicks, okay? There is that movement, okay? Now, look, I've had others that do that, like, you know, some of the lower end loophole scopes, there is that slight bit of movement. You know, there's a heap of different scopes out there that will do that. The only scopes that I haven't seen it on, obviously, are your high-end Schmidt and Benders, you know, Carls, and Swarovski. You know, it is just rock solid, and you know, they feel very nice. This obviously, you know, you're looking at the price point that it is. It's still a very positive click there, but you do have the slightest of movement, okay? Now on the left-hand side, we've got the parallax adjustment here from 10 meters to infinity. So that's nice because, you know, you do have a lot of variable scopes with the parallax adjustment. And a lot of the times, you know, it starts off at like 50 meters or 50 yards. So it is nice to have something where you can come right back there to 10 meters. The eye relief on it, depending on what magnification you got it on, is anywhere between 91 and 100 millimeters or 3.58 inches to 3.93 inches. Now the optic is in the second focal plane, so what that means, guys, is the reticle stays the same size as you go through the magnification range. Now let's just have another look here at the actual reticle. So as I briefly touched on, you know, you've got your different measurements for MOA there, but also you've got these width measurements on the reticle there. So obviously you can pretty much compensate for wind in different circumstances. It's like anything, any reticle, guys, you've got to use it and you've got to get used to it. And then you'll understand a lot of the features and then work it out as it's applicable to the firearm that you're using. So they advertise fully multi-coated lenses, so it's fog proof and waterproof. You know, they claim 92% light transmission, which I think would be about right. I mean, look, I've looked through this next to obviously one of my Schmidt and Benders. Look, two worlds apart, guys, you know, and two different price points completely. Now, it comes with a lifetime warranty, guys. This is another point that I'd like to sort of touch on. You know, a lot of people say, you know, geez, why wouldn't I go for one of the cheaper scopes? You know, they've got this lifetime, just full replacement, no questions asked warranty. You know, but you have like the likes of Schmidt and Bender and so forth that don't. Well, my personal view on that, guys, is quite simple. You know, the lower end scopes that are made in China or the Philippines are made that cheaply in the sense of the actual wholesale cost to the manufacturer isn't that much where they can afford to obviously just replace it completely free. That's my view on it. I may be completely wrong with it, but that's the way I see it. You know, where obviously your higher end scopes, you know, they'll have a warranty for, you know, 10, 15, maybe 20 years, you know, and that's what they offer from there because obviously it costs a hell of a lot to make those higher end scopes. So anyway, guys, that's it. Let's get it mounted onto a firearm, and I want to actually get that scope cam happening so you guys can actually have a look through it, even though it doesn't, you know, do a scope justice, you know, with recording it basically with the iPhone and the scope cam. It still gives you a look at the reticle and you can still look through and see what I'm looking at. So let's get out on the farm now and do a few tests with this scope and give you a look through it. All right, so I've chosen the Anschutz 1710 to throw the Zerotech scope on there because I get fairly good consistency with it, but obviously I want to mount this scope cam attachment. So, you know, I want to have something with reasonably low recoil so you guys can actually have a look through the scope and see what's going on. But for the first part of it, guys, I'll use the RWS ammunition because the Anschutz really likes that. We've got a little bit of wind, you know, coming up, then dropping dead still, so I should be pretty much right on with accuracy. I've got it sighted in there at 50 yards, so what I'm going to do is a tracking test there and just make sure everything's working correctly on this scope, and then I'll actually get the scope cam mounted for you, and we'll have a bit of fun and you can have a look through the scope at home. Okay, so we'll start off with 5 shots on the top left-hand target. Now we'll go to the right 40 clicks, or what that should be is 5 inches on the target, and we'll still aim at the top left target. So point of impact should be on the top right target. Now let's move 40 clicks down and we'll still aim for the top left target, so the point of impact should be on the bottom right of the target. Now let's come across 40 clicks to the left and we'll still aim at the top left of the target, so our point of impact should be at the bottom left of the target. Now let's come up 40 clicks and we'll aim at the top left of the target, so our point of impact should be exactly there where we started. Now I'm going to go to 2.5 magnification and aim dead center of the target. Now I'll go to maximum magnification on 15 power and aim at the dead center of the target. Now I'm going to use the 5 Moa Compensator on the reticle and I'll aim at the dead center of the target with that, so we should shoot 5 MOA high, which obviously is 2.5 inches at 50 yards, so we should be 2.5 inches high. Now I'll use the 10 MOA on the reticle and I'll aim at the dead center of the target, so we should be 5 inches high at 50 yards. Alright guys, so look, you don't even need to measure this really, because each square is a 1/2 inch. So we got from middle here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches exactly from center to center, from the top left to the top right target. So we went over, after we did the initial 5 shots, 40 clicks to the right, still aiming dead center there, and obviously we've got the shots nicely there. We had a little bit of wind pickup there, unfortunately, so yeah, definitely not the scope's fault. Then we came down 40 clicks. Once again, you can see there it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches exactly, and we're right on there. We had one shot, I should say, of the ammo there. I could hear that it was underpowered. It actually dropped a bit, which, you know, you do get with some rimfire ammo. Okay, then we went back 40 clicks to the left, still aiming at the top there, and bang, we're right on, except for one little flyer there. Then I came up 40, another 5 shots there, we're still on. And then this is the interesting test, is I put it back to minimum magnification, shot dead center, and then put it on maximum magnification, same point of aim, straight through the same hole. So, you know, it's tracking very well. Then just to measure those ballistic compensators on the reticle there. So, you know, as you're going down on the reticle, the first one there, we've got 5 MOA, then we've got 10 MOA. So here at 50 yards, 5 MOA is 2.5 inches, 10 MOA is 5 inches. Clearly see there, let's have a look at that. Should be 2.5 inches. Yeah, 2.6 inches. I mean, you know, the error is in my shooting, not the actual scope there. Another 2.5 up to the other one. Yeah, it's right on. I'm very confident in the tracking ability of the scope. Okay, so we'll start off with just showing you the second focal plane. So obviously as I change the magnification, the reticle stays the same size. Keep in mind, guys, obviously that scope cam adapter that I've got has got a couple of its own mirrors and lenses in it, so we can actually look through the scope. So it doesn't do the scope or any scope that I review justice. You know, the clarity is a lot better in real life, but it's just to show you or give you an idea of what I'm looking at. So you can see clearly here the ripples in the water on the dam, and the clarity is very nice and clear. Okay, so let's have a bit of fun. We'll start off with the gong at 50. Now I got 2 small pieces of sandstone both sides of the target there at 50, so let's shoot at them. Just so much fun. Okay, let's go out to 100. All right guys, I'm going to wrap up my final thoughts on the Zerotech Thrive HD scope. Now, absolutely zero problems with it. I'll tell you that straight off the bat. Now, as I said in the intro guys, you know, I don't like Chinese or Filipino made scopes, and my viewpoint on that has not changed. Even though this works perfectly, I just don't have that confidence in scopes made from China or the Philippines long term. Okay, I've seen a lot of them fail and the quality just doesn't seem to be there long term. I'm not saying you're going to have that problem with this scope, definitely not, because it seems like a really nice scope. The clarity on it, you know, look, it's acceptable. It's not outstanding by any means, but then again, you're paying, you know, basically $800 for this scope. You're not paying $2,000 or $3,000 that you are for obviously a Schmidt & Bender or Carlos or, you know, Swarovski scope. So you have to be realistic and fair. So yeah, the only thing that I guess I would like to see on it is just that little bit of movement in between the elevation and windage adjustments, you know, tightened right up, so you've just got that feel of a higher end scope. But like I said, you have to be realistic with the price that you're paying for one of these. Now guys, personally, I just don't put Chinese or Filipino scopes on my rifles long term, in the sense of I won't go out and buy one. I just won't. And the reason for that is I just don't have the confidence in it, as I say, because you go putting this like on a 308, you know, or something heavy caliber there that really tests scopes out long term. But will it fail in a month? Will it fail in a year? Will it fail in 5 years? I mean, you just don't know. And that's where the warranty on these cheaper scopes obviously comes in at a very attractive you know, position, because if anything goes wrong with it, well, you can just simply go in and get yourself another one. So, you know, you can't argue with that. And obviously that's the marketing that they push with these scopes. So overall, guys, like I say, no complaints with the scope, except, you know, if I could be really, really picky, just to tighten up that slight bit of movement in between the adjustments on the elevation and windage dials. But apart from that, nice clear scope, tracks extremely well, is right on with its MOA measurements there on the reticle. So yeah, absolute zero complaints there. All right guys, hope you enjoyed the honest review. So till next time, we'll catch you then.